Hey, today I want to talk about meditation and mindfulness in times of isolation, uncertainty, and unprecedented change. I hope that you will join me. My name is Anthony Davis, and this is Shapeshift Wellness, a channel that likes to explore science and research behind fitness, yoga, and meditation with the hopes that you might be able to better take your health into your own hands. If you like that sort of thing, consider subscribing to my channel. And today, stick around to the end of the video where I will discuss some alternative means of mindfulness practice that don't necessarily just involve sitting on a cushion in silence meditating. So today I stumbled upon a very easy read. It's available for free if you look it up. It's just a little perspective piece, not a big, systematic review or randomized controlled trial or something like that. This is just a nice little easy read about how we might be able to apply meditation and mindfulness into our current global crisis. Now, just FYI, I blacked that out because YouTube doesn't like that word, but that's okay because that's not really what we're talking about. Anyway, today we're really just talking about how to use meditation in a time of isolation and, as I said, uncertainty, fear, and change. And I hope that by taking a few excerpts from this research that maybe you can be encouraged to practice some form of mindfulness yourself. First of all, I want you to feel heard. If you are suffering, if you are isolated, if you live alone, if you are not able to go home and see family for this holiday season, etc., things are getting increasingly more difficult as we move into the winter months, and it is difficult. So I'm just going to read this because I think that this was a nice summary, just acknowledging all of you out there who are having a difficult time. Healthcare workers may be overwhelmed, busy, fearful, coping and dividing their lives. Patients with pre-existing anxiety, depression, or psychosis may feel overwhelmed by additional worry or fear. People with substance abuse may turn increasingly to whatever they can obtain to manage their own addiction. Carers may have an additional burden of care with loss of any time to themselves and loss of supports. Household units are living in pressured environments, not used to spending so much time in a small space together. Children and adolescents have lost the structure provided by school and may have their own worries and fears with loss of support external to their own families. Older people have been cocooned away and may have lost not only external support, but may have the perception that once you're over age 70, you are deemed vulnerable and no longer useful. If you add financial and employment instability into the mix, now we have a society structure that is challenged. Yet, despite the despair, fear, anxiety, there have been glimpses of a world with an increased sense of community and kindness. There's an entire world that we can connect with. There are other people that we can connect with directly online. It doesn't have to be this scary, person on the other side of the screen. They are real people, not just a username and a profile picture. And you can connect with them. You can share your thoughts, your stories, your inspiration, and hope. And I hope that maybe in the comments you might share something of your own, a strategy that you've been using to stay sane in these times. Studies have shown that people who meditate over the long term have changes in the areas of the brain that are concerned with stress and anxiety. So mindfulness meditation and other similar tools can provide us with a means of coping with stress and anxiety. It doesn't solve the problems that are causing them. It doesn't solve all of the things that are causing our current problems, but it might help you to cope better with the fallout, the secondary fallout, the fear, the anxiety, the loneliness, those types of things that are secondary to the current crisis. Several systematic reviews have shown that meditation-based tools can help with reducing anxiety, depression, PTSD, stress, lower blood pressure, cortisol levels, and other physiologic markers of stress. They can also help benefit people who are working in healthcare, and it goes on to say that it also helps people with pre-existing conditions. So these are several systematic reviews. So we're always expanding the research on meditation and mindfulness, but we have quite a lot of research showing meditation can really help with these things, and whether that's sitting on a cushion and closing your eyes and breathing and just having some quiet space and for self-reflection and mindfulness, or that's some other form of mindfulness, having that in your life can help you tremendously. I have a couple of guided meditations. I'll link them in the description, and maybe those can help you if you're getting started on your mindfulness journey. Some of the primary teachings in mindfulness coursework and yoga and Buddhist philosophy and even Stoicism, any philosophy or approach that involves a lot of self-reflection, there tends to be a common component of self-reflection where we become aware that our thoughts, our circumstances are constantly changing. And that when we become attached to those things, when we are attached ourselves to always having pleasurable experiences and never having unpleasant experiences, we suffer as a result of the incongruency with our expectations versus the way the world really is, which is changing. And so if we accept the changing nature of the world, not that we have to accept terrible circumstances, but if we can at least accept the reality that, if we put in the effort and if we are patient, and if we are, able to see it through, inevitably something is going to change. Things are going to become different eventually. So the article says meditation and mindfulness are useful skills that can help us to sit with our fears and our circumstances and to observe that, like our thoughts, this period in our lives too shall pass. Finally, there are many paths that can help you to explore mindfulness practices. Again, in the comments, if you have found something to help you stay sane in these times, please share your story with other people. It can help them. And I know somebody else who's watching, but probably won't comment, is going to benefit. And that is a real and important thing. So the things that I would suggest for you is, one, reach out to somebody that you love, especially somebody who might be isolated and more so than the rest of us, perhaps because they are vulnerable in some fashion. Reach out to them, spend some time talking with them, share a story, recount old times, whatever it is, reach out with them. 2, exercise. Exercise can be mindfulness. Go on a walk. If you don't mind the winter months and you can put your snow boots on, get a little bit of nature time, that would be especially beneficial. But if exercise means, just watching a free online, workout tape or something like that in your living room, whatever it is, move, get up and move a little bit, and be aware. Don't just tune out, don't just listen to a podcast, but go do these things mindfully, where you are really taking in your surroundings, every little subtlety about your experience, and just really soaking it in and enjoying the experience for what it has to offer, rather than trying to cram as many things into it as possible, like, a podcast and the music and this, and I'm casually taking notes and texting people in the middle of it. No, I'm just really experiencing a nice walk. 3, read a book. Disappear into a universe. Every book you open is a new universe to explore, characters to relate to and to be inspired by. So read a book. And 4, community. One of the most important aspects of health, because health is a biopsychosocial phenomenon. The reason people are having such a hard time is because we are isolated. We don't get to see the people that we're used to. But guess what? I really believe that our online community is stronger than it's ever been in human history. And you can find people who are doing things that you love right now. If you wanted to read books, well, I bet if you love to read a particular type of book, let's say Lord of the Rings, I bet there's a book club of people who love reading Lord of the Rings and want to communicate with other people who are reading these books as well, and talk about the meaning behind the chapters and just socialize, and that there is a real community of people that you can relate with, share your inspiration and hope with, share your stories and your fears with, and have that genuine human interaction with in the coming difficult months. No, it'll never replace real face-to-face human interaction, human touch, but it is still a very viable means of community and a very real means of community. So I encourage you to explore that. Thank you. I hope that you found this helpful. I'll see you next time.